Alright, so this is again solving two-step equations, only this is going to be part B. So same as yesterday, I'm going to do 6 examples, all of which are on your worksheet that you will get for homework tonight, and the U-tries are not on that worksheet. So your title should be Solving Two-Step Equations, Part B. You need to be writing down anything that looks like this, anything that looks handwritten by me. So example 1 is 11k minus 2 equals 60. And this example is similar to one that we saw on last night's assignment. So it should be pretty easy for you to solve, but we'll go ahead and do it together. What you're going to do first is subtract this 11 because it's positive on this side. We want to subtract it from both sides. So subtract 11. Since we subtracted it over here, we want to subtract it over here. This cancels out, so we get negative k over 2 equals 60 minus 11, which is going to give us 49. Then again, remember this negative here? I said yesterday you can have it down with the 2 or you can have it out in front. It doesn't matter. But what I like to do is multiply both sides by a negative 2 so that we can get rid of it. What we have left over here after we cancel these out is just a k, because that cancels out. K equals 49 times negative 2, which is going to give us a negative 98. All right, on to example 2. Example 2 looks like this, and we decided to do this example because of the way this fraction is written right here. This is negative 1/5 q. Now, in our examples, we've been used to looking at our fractions like this, negative q over 5. But I just wanted to point out to you that it's the same thing. Negative 1/5 q times q is the same thing as negative q over 5. And notice in example 1, we had negative k over 2, and in all the examples previous to this, we've had a negative or a positive variable over a number. Now, this is just 1/5 times q. Why is it the same thing? Well, I'm just going to do this down here in blue, just a little side note. It's the same thing because all you're doing is taking negative 1/5 and you're timesing it by q. Now, we know when we multiply fractions, you just multiply straight across. So we have negative 1 times q is negative q. 5 times, this could be q over 1, let's say. 5 times 1 is 5, so it's the same thing. Negative q over 5 is the same as 1/5 times q. So now let's solve up here. We still want to get this q isolated, so we want to add 4 first. Remember, you add and subtract first. This is equal to 0, so 9 plus 4 is 13. That equals negative 1/5 q. Now what we want to do is we want to still multiply both sides by negative 5. Same thing. Negative 5 to both sides. Negative 5. This still cancels it out. All we have left over here is q. Q equals 13 times negative 5, which is going to give us a negative 65. All right, example 3. Example 3, same thing as yesterday, only this time our numbers first. We want to get, in this case, the m alone. The m alone. Again, all these examples are on page 3.7 that you'll be getting. So we want to subtract 15 from both sides. 15 minus 15 is 0. We have negative 8m left over here. Negative 73 minus 15. Now, be really careful here. You're not adding these together, or you're adding these together, but it's going to give us a negative 88, not a positive 88, not another number, a negative 88. And then we need to, again, we need to isolate this, so let's undo multiplication by dividing both sides by negative 8. Negative 88 divided by negative 8 is going to give us m equals a positive 11. All right, on to example number 4. We have negative 5 minus 16y equals 43. So again, these are basically just the same as yesterday, except these two terms are switched around. We have our number over here and the number with the variable over here. So they're just trying to tell you that it's just a different way of writing it. So again, the first thing we want to do is add 5 to both sides. This is 0. Negative 16y equals 43 plus 5 is going to give us 48. Next thing we do is what again? Oh yeah, same thing. We want to divide both sides by 16. Not just positive 16, but notice this negative 16 right here. Divide both sides by 16. What's left over here is just our y. And remember, it's a positive 48 divided by a negative 16, so we are going to get a negative 3. Okay, so now it's time for the U-try. A, B, C, and D. A is like example 1, B is like example 2, C is like example 3, and D is like example 4. So you try and pause here and see if you get the answers correct. All right, and there's the answers to the U-try. A is negative 99, B is negative 44, C, M equals 2, and D, Y equals negative 2. So we're going to do 2 more examples and 1 more U-try. So these 4 examples were on page 3.7 of your worksheet, and now we're flipping over the page and we're going to do a couple from the other side. So example 5, we have a big fraction on this side equals negative 4. Now, you might be thinking, oh, we're supposed to add or subtract first, so I'm going to add 10 to both sides. And then I'm going to multiply by 3. Well, in these cases, you have to actually, there's special cases where you have to actually multiply both sides by 3 first and then add 10. So I wanted to show you these, and they're cases where the numerator has a little mini expression in it. The numerator is a minus 10, the denominator is 3. So what you want to do first here is you want to multiply both sides. So we're taking this as a whole. We're going to multiply both sides by 3. So we'll multiply that side by 3. We're going to multiply that side by 3. Now, same thing happens. You cancel these out because 3 over 3 is 1. We get a minus 10 equals negative 4 times 3 is a negative 12. So now what do? Now you add 10 to both sides, and you get a is equal to negative 12 plus 10 is a negative 2. And you're done. So notice how we didn't add 10 first. We first multiplied to undo this big division right here, and then we added 10. So example 6 is similar, only now it's numbers. So again, we're going to take this as one big whole. Our numerator is a mini expression. It's p plus 8. Our denominator is just negative 2. So we want to multiply both sides by that negative 2 first. So these are just special things that you have to do for special equations like this. This cancels out. We get p plus 8 equals 10 times negative 2 is going to give us a negative 20. Now what do? We don't add to both sides like we did up here. We subtract 8 from both sides, right? So we do the opposite. So this is 0. We just have p left on this side. On this side we get negative 20 plus negative 8 is a negative 28. All right, now you try. E is p plus 7 over negative 6 equals 6. So this is just like both of the previous ones that we just did. So pause here and see if you can do it. All right, and you should have gotten p equals a negative 43. So again, all the examples are on either page, page 2 or page 3.7 of your worksheet tonight. Make sure on your worksheets you are showing all work, like as taught in these 2 videos. Even if you know the answer, you need to show all your work, please. Thank you.